Good morning, guys. I hope you're all doing well this morning, and I hope everything is well with you. Uh, I hope you know we're all walking in the forgiveness that Dustin was sharing with us last night. Justin. But anyway, I just wanted to today cover Proverbs 27. This week I'll be covering 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31, the 5 days of the week. Just purposely the way I do that, because on my weekends I do some things a little differently. But I'm going to touch on Proverbs 27 today and 28. Joe, I know you're up to 29. Thanks for the thoughts. Keep it going, brother. Appreciate everything that you've done for the group and everything you've done to help us get started on this. And so that's great stuff. But first of all, this Proverbs, and I think, and as we get towards the end, it's kind of like it's like one of them college courses. You have a certain theme as you go through, and at the end you kind of he does pieces, adds up, kind of just wrapping up. Seems like this Proverbs kind of starting that mode here, but basically it's my Bible titles Proverbs regarding various activities. So, but there were actually a few things. Actually, 4 things that that came down as I was praying and asking the Lord to bring revelation and understanding. And the first one area that covered is boasting, verses 1 through 2 and verse 21. He basically addresses boasting, and that stood out to me because when you look at verses 1 and 2, it's do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring forth. Let another praise you, and not your own mouth, a stranger, and not your own lips. You notice the word not in there? Yeah, kind of interesting. And then in verse 21 it says, the crucible is for silver, the furnace for gold, and the man is tested by the praise accorded him. Praise can be a test for us many times. But the whole point is the word not. You've heard teenagers say, not, but what you basically see in boasting is God isn't interested in people that boast. He's not interested in us running around saying, I know Jesus and I'm better than you are. No, he's not interested in that at all. God is interested in us being quiet. We know each day will have enough troubles of its own, so we can just let tomorrow come. We know we can't stop it, and we shouldn't try to stop it, so we shouldn't be fretting. And I myself have been a bit fretful this weekend with some things going on, and have delayed doing some things I needed to do only because I was fretting. And it's just a frustration with a lot going on right now, and we have a lot on our plate this week. And I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of tired of it. I'd like things just to go smooth for a change, but that hasn't happened yet. So God will bring that. My strength is in Christ. My hope is in the Lord. My joy is in the strength of knowing Him. And so I am continuing to do that. So today I will not boast about what I have or don't have. I will not seek to say my own praise. I will not use my own mouth to do that. I'll let tomorrow come, and if I am praised, I pray that it meets with the test of humility. So that's boasting. The second thing he talked about in this Proverbs was the issue of friends. Verses 5 through 6, 9, and 17. Better is an open rebuke than love that is concealed. Faithful are the wounds of a friend, but deceitful are the kisses of an enemy. Oil and perfume make a heart glad, so a man's counsel is sweet to his friend. Ooh, good stuff. And then verse 17, iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. I really feel, at least for my own life in this cell group, I really feel like I've been sharpened. Just getting the other thoughts, hearing the other things. Last night, as we were having our group, I noticed how all 4 of us were complimenting each other. Just different things being said, we're building on one piece or another. Different things being said, we're bringing clarification. And I know each one of us was benefiting. As Dustin was sharing on forgiveness, as we shared stories and things, it really, I don't know how to describe it, did my heart good to see how we've become cohesive as we're continuing to get together, even after a 4 month sabbatical. Forced. And there may be more forced. But the fact of the matter is, having good friends and cell groups, we need to be friends. We need to be guys who care about each other. God's taken a new step. But there needs to be open rebuke, as in verses 5 and 6. And sometimes we got to say things that hurt a little bit to a friend. You sure you're doing this right, or you're sure you're putting honor to the Lord first? That's real important. Good counsel. There's been some good counsel in this group. I know I've benefited from it. And then the idea of iron sharpens iron. We walk the road together so that we can all hit the mark. And the cell group, that's what we do. We walk the road together so we can all hit the mark. We want to be followers of Jesus, and we want that to be, there be no mistaking about that. So that's what cell group does. Excuse me. The third one really touched my heart, a verse that really caught me and made me think about it, was verse 12. A prudent man sees evil and hides himself, and a knave proceed and pay the penalty. There's a lot of evil going on in our world right now, especially in the United States. There's a lot of evil going on. And we need to be prudent and make sure that we're kind of hiding ourselves from it. We don't want that evil to affect the righteousness of God. As a matter of fact, that evil should increase our righteousness. And but if we're going to constantly be barraged by all the crap in the news, and I mean just utter crap, John Bolton's book being released, all the people that are suffering in this occupied zone in Seattle, and just the chaos that's going on there, it's just amazing. It is. It all is just crap. I mean, it's just, and if you spend your time listening to the news, I gotta be honest with you, I have felt like at times I have to listen. I like to keep up on the news, I like to keep up with what's going on, but it gets depressing. No wonder people are in such a mess, and you got people freaking out and having nervous breakdowns. You listen to the news, and it's like, oh. And then what's even worse is, I'll start looking at a few things and look into them and find they're absolute lies. It's not really the whole story of what's really going on. So we really need to be prudent and hide ourselves from evil, and prayerfully hide our families from this evil, because it is influencing people for horrible things. And we need to be aware that the news isn't the news anymore. It is a programming system. It's seeking to program the way people think. And there are a lot of Christians that have been sucked up into the social justice thing and really don't understand, but there are a number who are walking in sin because of that. And they don't get it. They don't get it. What am I doing wrong? What's wrong? Jesus would do this. No, Jesus would not be doing a lot of the stuff our social justice people are doing. That's a fact. And that's why we're here, to show what Jesus would really do. So we really need, when we see evil, to hide from it. We need to just get away and just say, hey, God, hide me from this. The Lord is our salvation and our shield. We do not run when there's trouble. We just put the shield of faith up. And that's what we do. The last thing that really stood out to me in this passage was verse 23. Know well the condition of your flocks and pay attention to your herds. The first in your flock is always yourself. Do you know your condition? Do you know where you're at? Do you know what's going on? Joe, you've done this great job lately just talking about your condition. And Dustin, you've been opening up and talking about your condition. And Caleb and I, we've all been doing this. And we need to know our condition, okay? And we need to pay attention. Pay attention to the things inside of us. We need to pay attention and see God every day And by doing the word every day and finishing up these Proverbs, I'm finishing the course this week. I'll be on Proverbs 31 by Friday, and that's the end of Proverbs, okay? And then I'm going to myself go into my summer, what the Lord showed me 2 months ago to study for the summer. I'm going to be studying the concept of kingdom for the summer, and I'm using a book series by a man named Miles Monroe, who preached and talked about kingdom an awful lot in his tenure here on earth. Mr. Monroe has gone to join the Lord, and I'm sure it's a glorious time he's been having. But nonetheless, we need to know well the condition of our flock. We're fathers. We're husbands. Do we know the condition of our family? Do we know the spiritual condition of our family? And we need to pay attention. We need to pay attention to what's going on and not be reacting out of our emotion, but seeking the Lord and reacting out of the Spirit-filled salvation that God's given us. And that's what we need to do. We need to be in great prayer for our country, our world, and we need to be in great prayer for one another. And today, that will not change, gentlemen. I will be in prayer over each of you, and as things come up. And I do ask you again to be in prayer for me and my family as we have major events going on this week that could be very life-changing for my children. And my son Cameron, I did get to see him briefly yesterday, and it doesn't look good. He just doesn't look like he's really sharp, acutely aware. My daughter, there's a court case the 24th. That's pretty big. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Hopefully good reports. And then there is my son Ian on the 26th. We'll be having surgery. Junie and I are slated to leave on the 27th. I'm kind of in a wait-and-see mode with that because of what's happening with our kids. So we will see where things are at and kind of go from there. So nonetheless, we love you. We care very much about you. And you guys are in our prayers. And have a great day. And I'll look forward to hearing more thoughts from the various Proverbs that we're on. Have a great day, guys. Bye.